Alrighty guys, here's the video review for the Mobine series, Crystal City Chronicle Legend of Mobinron MB01-SP1 Missile Launcher Jungle Type. It's kind of a mouthful. First off, I want to say thank you to Derek Silver from the Hands of Steel group for letting me borrow this. He PM'd me over on TFW the other day and said, hey, I won these early auctions for these armor sets. I got both of them. Would you like me to send one to you so you can review it? So I'm sending it back when I'm done, but thank you very much for letting me check this out. It's very cool. Like, it actually showed up completely sealed, so he actually let me do this first, which is really, really awesome. So thank you again, Derek. That was very awesome. And it's actually a really neat little set, and we'll get right to it. You can see the packaging is standard Maketoys packaging, the white box with the kind of schematic diagrams in the background with the single color shaded pictures of the product. But other than that, it's pretty basic, pretty standard packaging from that. Inside, you'll find the plastic tray with the armor, or the tank, slash armor set, and a couple of different pieces in the instruction sheet. Now, this is basically the armor half of the Fallen figure they're doing. This is just the secondary armor. It doesn't include the core Paladin figure that really makes it the Fallen. It doesn't have a deco that really screams the Fallen either. It's a very drab. This is the jungle version, military drab colors. And take basically right out of the package, you plug these in. And it's standard power core connector ports, but the plugs don't have the springs or anything inside them, so they stay together pretty well. These are a little tighter, I found, than some of the other ones, and I'm sure that has to do with the fact that these have maybe accommodated the ports a little better since they're shipped all plugged in together versus these that are shipped separate and you have to plug in. But so the first couple times you do this, these may be a little tight, but you just plug them in right just like that. Try not to separate the whole assembly while you're doing so, but it does take some pressure to get these to snap together, so you just popped it apart. And these just tab into the front. You'll see why it all comes apart to form armor pieces and weapons. But you plug that in, you put the tilt the missile launchers back. These have the standard little C-clip that we saw on a lot of the Generations figures, like Dark Mount and Jazz's weapons and things like that. So they're compatible with that if you want to use these with any of your standard universe figures. But you just plug these in, angle them up there, and there's the little tank mode for this guy. As you can see, again, he's like I said, he's those military drab colors. He works really well with heavy tread there. And even the windows here, they're not an exact match, but you can see they're kind of a bright blue, just a little bit of bright blue here on this figure, which kind of matches the Allspark blue on heavy tread as well. It goes really well with him. You can put these on any power core combiner in torso mode. Like I said, I'm using heavy tread today because I didn't want to dig out all of my power core combiners, as well as the fact that I think it looks best on him. So we'll see some comparisons later on in the video, so don't worry about that. And basically, like, just the tank, and it's pretty much just a tank. There's no wheels or anything on the bottom. There's some treads, but they're not movable treads. So you take the armor pieces, we'll set him off to the side for just a minute, and basically you just take it apart. You pop the gun off, and you can split the whole thing right down the middle if you choose, but it basically comes apart into several parts. This part, unpeg this. And again, like I said, these joints are really, really tight because they don't come shipped plugged together, whereas these are a little bit easier to pull apart. Unpeg that. So each side consists of, I guess that one goes over on this side. I guess all of this stuff came from over on this side, even though this is this fist. Whatever. It's not all that big of a deal because you're going to go together anyway. So once all is said and done, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 parts to the armor. You can have more because you can take the fists out. We might as well go ahead and do that real quick. 10 parts, 12 if you count the 2 guns. But you've got a full part set here. Let's see if I can get them all in frame here at once. So yeah, there's the part set, and we can turn them into weapons for heavy tread. Although, again, I say heavy tread, and really, whenever I say heavy tread, you can just substitute in any PCC figure, because that really is anybody can use him. I'm saying heavy tread because he's the one I've got right here over on the side. So basically, like the feet, the feet are going to be part of something. You can have any of them hold these. You can flip these up a little bit. You can have anybody hold a weapon by this 5mm peg. Like if you wanted to mount it on a shoulder or something, you can have him hold a missile launcher by the 5mm peg. These right here, let's do these first. The forearm pieces, or the standard forearm pieces, if you open up the tread, there's a little tab in here. It's kind of a pain to get to sometimes. And you can flip out, you want to spin it around, the little Gatling gun. And then you can take the foot, and inside the foot there's a little handle you can, again, it takes a little bit of doing to get to. Come on, you handle. Let me see if I can get out of this one easier. Yeah, there we go. There's a little handle you can flip out, so you can plug this into here, and then bring the handle down on this ball hinge, and he can hold that as a weapon. So you can make a little weapon, or if you just want to you can unplug the fist and just slide that up and give him like forearm Gatling guns when he's in combined mode with the armor. So you can make weapons that way. A lot of customizability with these guys. And then the bigger pieces, the shin pieces down here, you can see they already have the 5mm peg right here, built into the front part of this. So you open, and if you open this up, inside, you unpeg it from there, is another piece that you can plug into any of the ports. So you can give him a bigger Gatling gun like that. If you want, again, with the forearms, if instead of flipping out the smaller Gatling gun, if you'd rather have the bigger Gatling gun, you can, well, actually I guess you can't. It doesn't fit. It looks like there's a slot that maybe if you came from above, you might be able to slide this in there all the way, but it doesn't, it by itself, those walls block it from plugging all the way in. So I guess you have to use them with that. Oh, I guess, but you could come over on this side. Yeah, there we go. You can plug them in on this side. And you can plug the elbows in here, and you can give him big forearm guns. Or wrist guns, I guess, however you want to look at it. So there's that. And it just pegs in. There's just a little tab inside there that it pegs onto. But yeah, a lot of really neat customization options here for the armor. And then to combine it, you can do the feet the combined mode a couple different ways. You can put these shorter pieces on the feet, and then put attach these longer pieces onto the shoulder bits, and plug the fist into there. And really, that might work for some, but for heavy tread, like, just to let you know, just to show it off. But like for heavy tread, you really want to do it the other way around. You want to take these the cockpit pieces, plug them into the feet. Do it, and you'll put them on the side where this PCC port right here is on the outside. And this allows you, I haven't used this one yet, but this one allows you to combine some other stuff if you want. If you get more than one armor set, you can plug in some missile launchers down here on the feet. With the robot, there's a lot of ways you can plug them together, and I can't cover all of them, or we'd be here all night. And I don't have a second set to do it with. But you basically want that port on the outside of the thing. It sounds like that Gatling gun in there may be rattling around, but that's okay. On the outside of the leg. So there's the two bottom legs. And then the forearms, again, with the power core combiner port on the outside. Plug that in. Oh wait, I think you want to come from the other end on these. Yeah, like that. Oh, well, maybe not. Oh yeah, there we go. You don't want to push it in all the way. And the fists do have a rotational bit up here. The port combined rotates around the fist, or at the end of the fist, so you can get some side-to-side wrist articulation when it's all combined. And take the lower arm, plug it up in here until and again, these also, you want this part facing the outside, but you can have this side facing forward, which is just a kind of a blank plate. If you want, you can do it this way, so this side's facing forward, because this piece rotates either way, and have missile launchers on the shoulders. So it's entirely up to you. Sometimes I think the missile launchers on the shoulders go well with the red on the toes, but it's entirely up to you. for the purposes of how it's displayed in the box, I'm going to go ahead and do it with the plate facing forward. So yeah, and you just plug that in, and there you go. You got the upper arm, and do the same thing on the other side, just like that. So now you've got both legs, both arms, and the weapons ready to go. So once you've got the armor all set up like this, you can take, again, heavy tread in torso mode, or as I mentioned earlier, any PCC Power Core figure in torso mode, and just attach the armor. Just plug it into the legs here, into the arms up here. Again, okay, you didn't see the arm connection, but it's standard PCC connection. They just peg on just like that. And there's heavy tread together. Now, I usually stick the smaller gun up here on the shoulder. Although again, the clip-on points are on the bottom of the feet, so it's really hard to get them connected, on either side of the foot. But it's hard to connect them really anywhere than up on the shoulders here in combined form. Now, I would have liked, unless the character itself has some C-clip points on it, I would have liked if the gun had maybe where you could attach the smaller gun up here as like a scope or something, and there's not really anywhere to do that. This gun does have a clip. You can attach this to the shoulder and kind of bring it down as a shoulder cannon. I think it sticks up a little too far for that, but it does have a standard 5mm peg, so again, you can use it with any of your other characters, or you can just put it in the fist of the combiner guy. So yeah, and you get the same. Well, you get more articulation than a standard Power Core combiner combined into the giant robot mode, because you've got all of this other stuff. In regards to the torso itself, it has the same articulation points there that a Power Core combiner does. You also get a little bit of an ankle tilt down here. It's on a ball joint on the foot, so you get a little bit of range of motion. The armor itself kind of blocks it in some of the forward and back directions, but you do get some decent side-to-side motion, and front to back, and you can rotate it again on the ball joint very easily. Rotate it here in the knee joint, but that's all articulation from that Power Core joint. It does rotate up here at the bicep, and then there's a little bit of it doesn't rotate below the bicep, unfortunately, but you do get an elbow joint, and again there is that wrist swivel with the fist plugged in down here. And again, if you have more than one set, you've got Power Core connector points down here on the side of the leg, as well as on the sides of the forearm, so you could conceivably just keep building a giant, Mecha Shiva of Doom if you wished. I only have the one set, again, as I mentioned, so I can't show you some of the glorious, like Mobine-esque, conglomerations you can make with it, but you could conceivably just keep building. Oh, and there's some up here on the shoulders as well. There's some Power Core combiner ports that can flip out up here as well. So you can really kind of go nuts with various combinations on these guys, or even plug in some of the original drones if you wanted, just to have some fun. So there's a lot of options available to you here. Like I said, I've used them on heavy tread because I think this one looks the best. I've seen some people use them on bomb shock as well, and it looks okay. But really, it's up to you. They will fit on any of the Power Core combiners in torso mode, the same connections and everything like that. Speaking of bomb shock, here's a brief size comparison of him with bomb shock with the Iron Army set. So he's not quite as big as that. Part of that is I think is bomb shock himself. I think as a core torso, I think he's got a little bit more lankiness to him. And if we want, we can actually, I'll go ahead and swap out the armors onto each of these just to see how much of a difference there is. But we'll just pop off the arms and legs off of him. It's like he went to Nam. Come here. And no disrespect to people who did fight in Nam and lose limbs. I'm just sorry, that was maybe a bad joke. Come on, pop off. Oddly enough, when I want stuff to pop off, come on. Having trouble getting this tank off of here. Come on, there we go. So we'll go ahead and put Iron Army back onto heavy tread, because I did have heavy tread in the Iron Army set for a long time. I think I ended up switching to bomb shock because I do think it looks. I think it looks a little better on bomb shock, but also just for the brudicacy aspect of it. but entirely up to you. So there's Heavy Tread in the Iron Army set. I'll go ahead and shove Bomb Shock here into the Mobine armor. And you can see, due to Heavy Tread's kind of stumpiness and Bomb Shock's linkiness, that puts them closer to the same height. Although, again, I feel like, in combined mode, I feel like this has a thicker, the bulkier armor that goes well with Heavy Tread. I think these guys, especially the arms, have a little bit more of the linkiness that fits better with Bomb Shock. But you do have the options, like I said, there's just a difference of how the Power Core torso can affect the armor. You can see it. It's made him, like before, this set was about up to here, almost off camera, or was off camera, and now he's kind of down. This armor has gotten taller, and it's evened out the heights a little bit better, just because he's such a lankier torso. So mix and match, you can find a good mix for you. But it's a very neat set. Like I said, I got this from Derek Silver, again, from the Hands of Steel group, and I appreciate him letting me borrow it. And it really, once I got to play with it, I actually went and pre-ordered one of the Jungle Type sets of my own. I thought I was going to be happy with Chaos Paladin, but seeing how it looked on Heavy Tread, I really wanted it for Heavy Tread. So I went and ordered one. But yeah, there it is, the Maketoys Mobine series, Crystal City Chronicle, Legend of Mobinron, MB-01, SP-1, Missile Launcher, Jungle Type. I just love saying it all out loud because I can. But yeah, there you go. Thanks again, Derek. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you had any interest, I highly recommend it. It's well put together and a lot of fun. And I think, especially if you're into the Power Core Combiner gimmick, you're going to find a lot of ways to use this. So yeah, thumbs up.